Félix, Houphouët Boigny. Even the name sounds impressive, right? This guy wasn't just a leader, he was leader of Côte d'Ivoire for over 30 years. We're talking about a dude who went from humble beginnings to leading his country to independence, and not just any independence, mind you. He turned Côte d'Ivoire into an economic powerhouse. They don't call him Le Vieux, the wise old man, for nothing. But hold up, it wasn't all sunshine and roses. Houphouët Boigny was a complex figure. He was praised for his economic policies, but criticized for his firm grip on power. We're talking one-party rule, folks. And let's not forget the grand projects like Yamoussoukro, the city he literally built from scratch to be the new capital. Ambitious? Yes. Extra? Also yes. Félix Houphouët Boigny's story begins in 1905 in Yamoussoukro, a small village in what was then French West Africa. We're talking rural life, folks. His family were cocoa planters, which meant hard work from sunrise to sunset. But young Félix, he was different. He had this thirst for knowledge, a hunger to learn. He excelled in school, eventually earning a place at the prestigious École de Médecine de Dakar. Yes, people, this guy was going to be a doctor. He saw the pain and suffering of his people. He wanted to heal, to make a difference. Little did he know, his path to making a difference would take a very different turn. After becoming a doctor, Houphouët Boigny returned to Côte d'Ivoire and started working on his father's plantation. But something wasn't sitting right with him. He saw the injustices faced by African farmers like his father, how they were exploited under the colonial system. Remember, this is the 1930s, folks. Colonialism was alive and well. This sparked a fire in him. Houphouët Boigny became a vocal advocate for farmers' rights, even forming a union to fight for better conditions. This was a bold move, challenging the status quo, putting himself out there, and guess what? People listened. He was charismatic, he spoke their language, he felt their pain. This was just the beginning of his political awakening. Hold on tight, because things are about to get interesting. The journey to independence was a long and arduous one, filled with determination, resilience, and strategic moves. In 1944, Houphouët Boigny took his fight to the next level. He was not just a local leader, he had a vision for a free and prosperous Côte d'Ivoire. He went to France, the heart of the colonial power, and became a member of the French Parliament. This was a bold move, showing his commitment to change from within the system. Talk about taking the fight to the enemy. Houphouët Boigny was determined to make his voice heard in the corridors of power. He knew that to truly change things for Côte d'Ivoire, he needed to be at the table where decisions were made. And you know what? It worked. His presence in the French Parliament was a game changer. He played the political game, built alliances and pushed for reforms. His strategic alliances with other African leaders were crucial in the fight for independence. In 1946, he founded the Parti Démocratique de la Côte d'Ivoire, PDCI, a political party that would become synonymous with the fight for independence. This party was the backbone of the independence movement. Fast forward to 1960 and boom, the dream became a reality. Côte d'Ivoire gained its independence, with Houphouët Boigny as its first president. Game changer, right? His leadership and vision had finally paid off, marking a new era for the nation. Section 5, the Ivorian miracle. Now, becoming president is one thing, but what do you do with that power? Houphouët Boigny had a vision. He wanted to build a prosperous and stable Côte d'Ivoire, a beacon of hope for the newly independent African nations, and boy did he deliver. He focused on economic development, encouraging foreign investment and promoting cash crops like cocoa and coffee. And guess what? The Ivorian economy boomed. People called it the Ivorian miracle. He built schools, hospitals, roads, the works. He truly transformed Côte d'Ivoire from an impoverished colony to one of the most prosperous nations in West Africa. Section 6, a beacon of stability. But it wasn't just about the money, folks. Houphouët Boigny knew that stability was key. He saw the turmoil and coup happening in other newly independent African nations. He didn't want that for his beloved Côte d'Ivoire, so he adopted a policy of dialogue and reconciliation. He promoted peace and unity, emphasizing the importance of working together. He even managed to maintain good relations with France, the former colonial power. This was a smart move, as it allowed Côte d'Ivoire to benefit from continued French investment and support. For a while there, Côte d'Ivoire was an oasis of peace in a region often plagued by conflict. Section 7. The Man and His Monuments. Now, you can't talk about Houphouët Boigny without talking about his grand projects, especially his pièce de résistance, Yamoussoukro. This city is not just a place on the map, it's a testament to his vision and ambition. Remember that small village where he was born? It was a humble beginning, a place that held his roots and early memories. Well, he decided to turn it into the new capital city of Côte d'Ivoire. This was not just a symbolic gesture, it was a bold move to centralize power and showcase development. And I'm not talking about just moving some government buildings. This was a comprehensive plan to create a modern city that could stand as a beacon of progress. We're talking about building a whole new city from scratch. Imagine the scale of this undertaking, the resources, the manpower, and the sheer determination required. We're talking wide boulevards, massive government buildings, and even an international airport. And the centerpiece? It was something that would put Yamoussoukro on the global map. The Basilica of Our Lady of Peace, a replica of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, but even bigger. This monumental structure was designed to be a symbol of peace and unity. Now, some people called it extravagant, a waste of money. Critics argued that the funds could have been used for more practical needs like healthcare and education. But Houphouët Boigny saw it as a symbol of Ivorian pride, a testament to how far the country had come. For him, it was more than just a building, it was a legacy, a dream realized, and a message to the world that Côte d'Ivoire was a nation of vision and ambition. Section 8. Cracks in the foundation. But let's be real, folks. No leader is perfect, and Houphouët Boigny was no exception. While he brought stability and economic growth, he also ruled with an iron fist. We're talking one-party state, suppression of dissent, the whole shebang. He believed that a strong hand was necessary to keep the country united and to prevent chaos. And as the years went by, the cracks started to show. The economy slowed down, corruption reared its ugly head, and people started questioning his authoritarian style. The world was changing, and Houphouët Boigny, despite his wisdom, seemed reluctant to change with it. Section 9. The passing of a patriarch. In 1993, after ruling for over 3 decades, Félix Houphouët Boigny le Vieux passed away. The father of the nation was gone, the country went into mourning. This man had been their constant, their rock for as long as most people could remember, but his death also created a huge power vacuum. The country was thrust into uncertainty. Who would succeed him? Could anyone fill his shoes? The answer, tragically, was a resounding no. Côte d'Ivoire, the beacon of stability, was about to face its darkest chapter. Section 10. A legacy forged in progress. In the years after Houphouët Boigny's death, Côte d'Ivoire descended into political turmoil and conflict. The stability that once characterized the nation seemed to vanish overnight, leaving a vacuum that was quickly filled by chaos and uncertainty. Coups, civil wars, you name it, they went through it. The country was torn apart by internal strife, with different factions vying for power and control, leading to widespread suffering and displacement among the population. The Ivorian miracle, a period of unprecedented economic growth and prosperity, seemed like a distant memory. The once thriving economy was in shambles, and the social fabric of the nation was fraying at the edges. It was a stark reminder that even the most stable of regimes can crumble without a strong foundation of democratic institutions. The lack of robust democratic practices and institutions left the country vulnerable to instability and authoritarianism. But even today, Houphouët Boigny's legacy is complex and contested. His contributions to the nation's independence and development are undeniable, yet his methods and policies continue to spark debate. He's both revered and criticised. Some see him as a visionary leader who laid the groundwork for modern Côte d'Ivoire, while others view him as an autocrat who suppressed political opposition and curtailed freedoms. He's remembered as the father of the nation, the man who brought independence and prosperity. His role in achieving independence from colonial rule is celebrated, and his efforts to modernize the country are acknowledged, but he's also remembered as the autocrat, the one who stifled dissent. His administration was marked by a lack of political pluralism, and his heavy-handed tactics left a lasting impact on the nation's political culture. Love him or hate him, you can't deny his impact. His policies and leadership style have shaped the course of Côte d'Ivoire's history, influencing both its successes and its struggles. He left an indelible mark on Côte d'Ivoire, for better or for worse. The infrastructure projects and economic policies he implemented continue to affect the country, serving as both a foundation and a point of contention. And his story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that true progress requires not just economic development, but also good governance and respect for human rights. The lessons from his era underscore the importance of building a society that values both prosperity and freedom, ensuring that future generations can thrive in a stable and just environment.